if you are in a place where it is comfortable, safe, and appropriate for you to do so, please close your eyes and begin to take some long, slow, deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. With every inhale, you feel more light and peace entering the body and the mind. With every exhale, feel like all the tension is draining away from your body, along with anything you do not want. Inhaling peace, exhaling as you let go. We picture ourselves on top of a beautiful mountain in the center of a circular grove of trees. In the center of our grove, a bonfire blazes forth, lighting us and the grove up with a sacred golden light. We recognize that this is the light of perfect love and perfect trust. It quickly, easily, and efficiently burns away everything that is not like itself, leaving us safe, peaceful, and serene. Into this sacred space, we invoke the presence of our Creator. To many of us, our Creator reveals themselves to be a God and Goddess, a mother and father. Into this space, we also invite the presence of our teachers, our guides, our angels. We ask that they join together with us as we dedicate the time that we spent together to each other and to them. We ask that we be guided and led as we walk upon the way, so that we can become happier, more peaceful, more prosperous, more healthy, and more loving people. Thank you very much. If it's appropriate out loud, you can join me in saying, "Blessed be." One of the things that I've discovered through the years is that when I'm having issues, when I'm having problems in my life, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, those problems are instigated by my own resistance. My own resistance. Jung taught us that what we resist persists and grows. And I've found that that is very true in my own life, that certain things that I've resisted, either looking at or not wanting to deal with, they seem to fester, they seem to grow, they seem to become bigger and more ominous. And the more I try to run away from them, the more they seem to run after me. It's sort of the mystery of that strength card in the tarot is she's turning and facing that beast. The beast tames itself because we're not running away from it anymore. The power of our awareness is a very healing power. And if we withdraw the power of our awareness from something, that is what enables it to grow and increase and persist. What I've noticed also is that as a result of this, when I'm resisting in general, I'm not open, I'm not receptive to hearing any guidance because I'm obsessed with, I don't want to hear that, I don't want to see that, I don't want to know that. And when I go through life with my fingers in my ears saying la 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 la, so I don't have to hear something, or putting my fingers over my eyes so I don't have to see it, that the power of my awareness, which is a healing factor, is withdrawn from those things, and that gives them opportunity to grow. As a result of not allowing myself to access my inner wisdom because I'm so busy running away from things, I seem to perpetuate problems. And I get myself involved in things that I don't need to be involved with, or not getting involved with things that would be good for me to be involved with. And that's because I'm so afraid of looking within that I can't also listen from within. And the more I allow myself to let things be the way they are, rather than resist them, the more I can tune in to the guidance that allows me to not only discover ways to heal these problems, to move through them, but also to find my place in the world, to find my purpose, to find my function. It's impossible to find one's function if we aren't willing to look at ourselves, if we aren't willing to be with ourselves. So in order for me to move through this resistant nature, I have over the years learned the technique of letting things be exactly the way they are. And I don't always get that perfectly, but I try to, at least on a sort of systematic basis, come around once a day and say, I'm just going to let things be the way they are. I'm going to allow them to be what they are. I'm going to allow the power of my awareness to behold what is. And as I allow myself to behold what is, then I'm also opening up my inner ears and my inner eyes so that I can be guided to perceive things in a way that's different from the way that I was trying to see them as a resistant individual. So many times I've resisted myself out of success. I've resisted myself out of joy, out of happiness. I've resisted myself into problems. It's impossible for us to be in our true place in this world while we resist our true place. We are stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the universe can't really do much for us until we decide to change our minds about that, because we do have free will. But I've noticed that the more I allow myself to be open and receptive to what is, the faster what is can change. You see, there's a difference between allowing things to be the way they are and having a preference to what you want. When we talk about spell casting, there's this occult mystery that seems like a dichotomy, that you have no power to change a situation unless you can accept it the way it is. You have no power to change a situation while you're resisting it. So Al Manning taught me a long time ago, very long time ago, that the secret of a spell that's going to be successful is being able to both desire what I want while not really caring whether it ever happens. To desire with my whole heart and soul a certain thing, while at the same time being able to let it go and not have any attachment to whether it occurs or not. Crowley talked about not lusting after results, and this is a very similar concept. It seems impossible. It seems like trying to do two different things at once. It seems like you're trying to go east and west at the same time, but that's not true. You're simply trying to move your organ of perception away from your ego and into your soul, from the body's eyes and into your third eye. Because your soul is at peace. Your soul is non-resistant. But your soul is also all-powerful over any circumstance. So if you can move from ego-based thoughts and perceptions into soul-based thoughts and perceptions, then you can pretty much have what you want. It really goes deeper than just having what you want, because most of us who identify with the ego mind, which is everybody, we also have another problem that we have to face, and that's that we don't know what we want. We don't know what we want. We think we do. We really do. Our ego just says, no, I know what I want. I want this. I want it now. But our soul oftentimes wants something very different. And our soul understands what will make us happy. And the ego wants to avoid anything that makes us happy. Because that's how the ego's function is programmed. The ego is programmed to resist at all costs everything that makes us happy. Why? Because that's how we can prove to ourselves and the universe that we are faulty, that we're not good enough, that we don't belong here, that we are damaged, all of those things. It's very important to understand that the bulk of what we think we want doesn't come from us. It comes from our own imposter self. And one thing that I've been able to glean over many, many years of practice in the craft and success in magic is that I can get what I want through magic, but I can't always guarantee that what I want will make me happy unless I am willing to be guided, unless I'm willing to be led by my own inner guidance system. And it's very difficult to find access to the inner guidance system. In fact, I think it's impossible to while we are resisting what is. When we can let go of our resistance to what is happening, then we are opening up our minds. We are opening up that organ of sight, that organ of hearing that is within us, that deep inner knowingness that can change things for us, that can alter our course, that can show us what will make us happy, that can do all of these things for us that we've been wanting to do. It has the ability to do that in an instant. We don't have access to that while we're resisting things because the ego is the habit of mind that is resistant by nature. It sometimes seems like, oh no, I can't go through that. I just can't go through that. I want to avoid that because that's going to hurt, whatever that is. And whenever we notice that and we say, well, I'm not going to resist it. I'm just going to relax, let myself go, and just let it be the way it is. I'm not going to resist what is. I'm just going to let it be the way it is. Then all of a sudden, we are thrust into a new way of perceiving things. We are thrust into a connected state of being wherein we can see and hear guidance that was not available to us before because we were resisting that guidance. We were talking about the ring of fear in one of these lectures, and somebody asked about, well, what do we do about the ring of fear? What do we do about the ring of fear? What you do about the ring of fear is you don't resist it. You go right through it. It's the basis of dark magic right there, is you turn and face it, you relax into it, and you know that all is well. You're not unattended. You're not going to be cast into the outer abyss. That you have with you at all times, all protection, and that you can see anything through. But if you don't resist it and you turn and face it and let it be the way it is, then you're opening up your own mind to the guidance that you were not capable of perceiving prior to that because your mind was so busy resisting something. So that idea of non-resistance is practical because it opens up your eyes and your ears to your inner GPS system. Whereas that inner GPS system is something that you couldn't even perceive before because you were so busy resisting what is, and that shuts down that communication completely. When I do get it right, I notice that no matter where I am or what is going on around me, even if my ego screams and says, this is horrible, run, 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 what I notice is that if I don't resist it and I allow myself to connect to that inner guidance, what I am guided to understand is that no matter where I am, infinite intelligence put me there for a reason. Now, if I got into a place that infinite intelligence didn't want me to be and I stop resisting it, infinite intelligence then can guide me away from that. But if I'm in a place where infinite intelligence guided me and I resist that, then I'm not understanding what my function is, what my mission is, if you will. A lot of times we don't remember that infinite intelligence can only do for us what it can do through us, and that includes one another. So if infinite intelligence has a miracle for somebody, infinite intelligence's miracles happen very often through other people. And if you're not resisting infinite intelligence, then that intelligence can move through you in order to help somebody in need in ways that you may not understand intellectually. And I remember thinking to myself once, these people are so annoying. Why do I have to deal with them? And then I remembered, don't resist it. And then I was able to listen. And my inner voice said, the reason why they're so annoying is because they need you. And that's why infinite intelligence sent you there. And you're not doing a great job right now because all you're doing is judging them. And so they're not able to get the help that infinite intelligence sent you to give them because all you're doing is being annoyed by them. So if you can stop resisting for a minute, then we can work through you to do the job that we sent you here to do. Boy, what a difference that made. I'm annoyed by people that I'm here to help. So if I stop resisting those people and stop being annoyed by them, I can allow the function of infinite intelligence to move through me so that I can function at a higher level. So I can be here to be the help that I came here to be. And then all the benefits that accrue because of that. This idea of some sort of selfless person who's just here to help other people and it's nothing about themselves, that doesn't jive with the truth. The truth is that the more you are open and receptive to be for infinite intelligence what it needs you to be, then as you allow infinite intelligence to heal others through you, you are thus healed. You benefit, at least equally, if not more so. Right? So resisting our true place in life is where we tend to spend the bulk of our time. And I know I do. And I'm sure if you're anything like me, that you do too. And that when we drop that, even for a moment, and say, I'm just letting everything be the way it is, and I'm going to allow myself to be guided. I'm going to allow myself to be led. Then all of a sudden, infinite intelligence has a point of entry that can allow you to be used in a way that heals so much harm in this world, that just opens up so much light in so many dark places where people were lost and stumbling. And you're not doing it personally. You're not, I know for me, I'm not smart enough to know exactly what to do and how to get there, but infinite intelligence uses me, uses my intellect, uses my skills, uses my history, uses my vocabulary, uses everything that I've got in order to do good for other people. And who benefits from that? I do. I do. I do this out of self-interest. And so should you. Right? If everybody was living their lives, minding their own business out of self-interest, the world would be amazing. Because that's how infinite intelligence set it up. A lot of times we think selflessness is the way to go, but it's not. Self with a capital S means soul. And if you're doing what your soul came here to do, then that means that your soul is allowing that higher wisdom to move through you to bring the healing wherever it needs to be brought. And it's so smart, infinite intelligence, it's so smart that it knows exactly who you can help the most so that you can be benefited the most. Literally everybody wins. If we allow ourselves to let things be the way they are in any moment of time or point of space, that is the point of entry through which infinite intelligence can say, thank you. Now here we go. This is what we're going to do. I need you to go here. I need you to do this. I need you to say this. And how do you know where to go and what to do? You listen. And it happens in the moment. It happens in the moment. You just assume that you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, letting everything be the way it is, and being guided and led as you go. And when you do that, then in a very different way than what happens when you're resisting things, everything starts to work out for you. You stop second guessing and trying to micromanage the universe so much. And you just assume, I'm in the right place. I'm in at the right time. I'm doing the right thing. I am here to be truly helpful. And when you're there to be truly helpful for others, then you're also there to be truly helpful for yourself. And that's how it works. You help yourself by helping others, but you don't help others at the expense of being helped. Just like you give to others and then you are open to receive. So it's still out of self-interest. You forgive others because then you yourself are at peace. It's out of self-interest. You allow yourself to give people grace because then you yourself receive grace. It's completely out of self-interest. So self-interest in this respect is the name of the game, because infinite intelligence wants you to succeed, wants you to be happy, wants you to be at peace, wants you to be prospered, wants you to have all the goodies, wants you to have your preferences in this world to be in alignment with the truth about you, so that you're not wasting time going after things that are just going to hurt you, that you think that are going to make you happy, that are a huge waste of time and actually kind of detrimental to you. Instead of that, you allow yourself to be in the moment, allow things to be exactly the way they are, and then allow your preferences for what you want to be informed by your soul rather than your ego. Because that's what magic is all about, is changing form, is changing things into being the way you want them to be. But you want to make sure that what you want comes from your soul so that you know that what you want is going to make you happy. Wasting your time trying to go after things that your ego tries to convince you that you want, all that does is keep you stuck and keep you unhappy. And the way that you know that you're doing what the ego thinks that it wants for you is when you're resisting. When you're resisting what is, when you're making everything wrong and bad, that means that your ego is trying to concoct something that's going to get you into trouble. But when you can say, in this moment, I'm just going to let everything be exactly the way it is. I'm not going to make any move to change it. I'm just going to let it be so that I can hear, I can listen, and I can be guided. Then when you do that, then you're completely filled up by your soul. You're completely filled up by infinite intelligence, and you are guided. You are led, and every single thing you do seems to be successful. Everything you say seems to be successful. All of the magic you decide to perform is exactly on target, exactly in alignment with the journey that your soul set out to take. And everything that you do benefits everyone, including yourself. So, yes, what we resist persists and grows. But when we allow things to be the way they are, it's not surrendering to something that we don't want. It is a technique by which we can then alter our organs of perception from the body to the soul. And that we can start to listen and open up to that inner guidance to be guided and led every step of the way. But we can't open to that inner guidance while we're resisting what is. So step one in any kind of magical success has to be allowing everything to be exactly the way it is. So that when we open our inner sight and open our inner ears, we can be guided into the next step rather than being tempted into doing things and saying things and to creating things that our ego knows darn well are going to be to our detriment and to the detriment of others. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.